Greetings everyone, Joseph James here with your nightly newsletter brought to you by theschooloftrade.com. Today was August 11th, 2009, Tuesday morning. We're expecting obviously FOMC day tomorrow on Wednesday. Today being the 11th, we're now almost halfway through our second week here, Tuesday here in the second week of August. And of course, before we talk about the live trades we took today in the room, I want to remind you guys we have a free resource online for you guys, youtube.com/School of Trade. And guys, when you go to those videos, when you watch those videos, please take a second of your day and rate and comment. Now, our trade room totals here for contracts today was at $200, so $200 on 4 contracts brings our weekly total here after our $100 loss yesterday up to $100 in the green here now. Okay, so we're now back in the green for the week, and that brings our monthly total back up above $1,000 here at 11.15. Of course, this on 4 contracts here in the month of August. We just switched from 3 contracts to 4 contracts, and we're starting to grow our account even more here. So as you see, 4 contracts, 200 today, $100 for the week, and of course our monthly total just over $1,000. Let's talk about our trim today. Trim today is FOMC day. Now, of course, tomorrow, Wednesday the 12th, is FOMC day. Now, what is FOMC day? Well, we all know it's an important thing that we want to pay attention to, but the FOMC day is specifically talking about at 2:15 tomorrow on Wednesday, the Federal Open Market Committee, right, that of course they are the ones that meet regarding interest rates, right, with the Fed here in the US, they make an announcement. And so the FOMC announcement, which happens at 2:15, is a major news event. In fact, it's so important. It's almost as it's more important than our GDP, right? It's more important than our jobless claims. It's more important than housing sales. It is more important because the FOMC announcement is going to dictate what the federal government, or in this case the Federal Reserve, is going to do regarding interest rates, right? Regarding the Fed funds rate. So this FOMC announcement is a major news event. It's a decision basing on the Fed funds rate here in the US. Now, unlike other news events, right, like your non-farm payrolls or your jobless claims or your housing sales, right, this event actually affects the entire trading day. In fact, this event has an impact on days previous to it. In fact, we saw a little bit of that today here on Tuesday, right? It's difficult to imagine that with such a big news event tomorrow, you may not have people who are clearly going to be sitting on their hands today in preparation for the news event tomorrow. So unlike others, this affects an entire trading day. Now, here's how it usually plays out. In the early morning, we usually see pretty decent volume. That is, people are trading the markets like they normally do. Right, so of course before 11:15 Eastern, before 11 o'clock Eastern, we're usually going to see some pretty good trading. We'll see a high volume trading environment. Now, once we get close to lunch, usually about 10:45 to 11 o'clock, usually lunch is going to set in a little bit earlier here on FOMC day, we have this calm before the storm. So from about 11:15, 11:30 up to 2:15, we see this calm before the storm that is low volume. Now, at this time, guys, before the 2:15 announcement, very unpredictable price action. So rookies, guys, beware out there. This is not the time to be trading a live account if you're not experienced on days like that. So because the announcement is at 2:15, after we see that initial high volume environment in the morning, it then becomes very unpredictable in that calm before the storm. So be careful. Guys, when the announcement happens at 2:15, you're going to see a flood of volume in the market. Well, you should be, in regards to people who are, of course, trying to trade that news event. So the people that are leading up to the news event, they're going to be, possibly shuffling around their position for their clients, getting ready for any potential announcement at 2:15. Once the announcement comes at 2:15, we then, of course, whether or not they chose to increase rates or decrease rates or leave rates unchanged, right? They will make that announcement at 2:15. Once that happens, you're going to see what will become a very violent, high volume, but just violent up and down and very unpredictable reaction to this news. Now, guys, it's okay to stand on the side and watch this point, right? No one is there making you take trades. And as a conservative trader myself, I tend to stay away from the market the entire afternoon, just because we know a lot of people are trading impulsively. They're trading based on emotions, and they're really not following any simple set of rules when it comes to trading after 2:15, because what's going to happen is the volume will be so thick and unpredictable that whatever trades you do take are very rarely going to be taken on some high probability setup. So it's okay to stand aside, guys, and watch. And remember, we're not trading the news, we're trading the reaction to the event. So be careful. Okay, we're not trying to predict whether or not they're going to increase rates or decrease rates or keep them unchanged. We're not trying to predict what the reaction is going to be. Because as you know, being a trader, sometimes trying to predict is the worst thing we can do. Because even if we read the news number correctly, it doesn't matter what the actual number was. All that matters is the reaction to that number. So this could be a bullish announcement, but if the market treats it as bearish news, then we, of course, can't predict based upon what we think is going to happen. We have to trade the reaction. So trade the reaction if you want to trade it, and be careful. As always, guys, I want to show you guys more about how we trade FOMC tomorrow morning, so make sure you come out and join us tomorrow morning, and we'll go over more about some of the things to be careful about when trading FOMC, and of course some things that you can feel free to trade. So come out and join us tomorrow morning in our live trade room. It opens at 2:45 a.m. We have 3 jobs, and of course, identify, adjust, and then execute. Those are those 3 jobs we follow every single morning like clockwork. The room opens at 2:45. It's open for trial members and lifetime members. So come out and join us. We'll trade the European Open at 3 o'clock. We'll trade the pre-market at 8 o'clock for the U.S. market. We'll trade the U.S. Open at 9:30, and of course, we'll close down about 12 o'clock noontime Eastern Standard Time. I want to remind you guys as well, the beginner's course is highly recommended for all of our free trial clients. The beginner's course is a fantastic fundamental foundation to build on. It's going to make the most out of your trip with us in your 3-week trial. Now, guys, we only took 1 trade today. We really practiced patience and discipline this morning. In fact, our free webinar today at 11:30, guys, we do free webinars on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Our free webinar today at 11:30 was on the discipline cycle. And the discipline cycle workshop, we talked about how patience and discipline leads to consistent success in our trading. And guys, we started trading this morning at 3 a.m. Eastern Time when we opened the room. We had to wait patiently until 11 o'clock Eastern Time before we saw this perfect high percentage opportunity. Now, here at 11 o'clock, we had just missed a 2-step short. As you guys can see here, we had defined with this blue line here our swing low, and you can see to the left there, we defined that swing low. We wanted that 2-step short, and of course, it was setting up. We called it live in the room. But what happened was, we see this often on Crude, is that it actually started moving so quickly that it was pretty much impossible to try to chase after it. So the 2-step blew right through our potential entry. Not much we could really do in that situation. So when we saw the 2-step, right, the 2-step is a trend reversal trade. Well, that successful 2-step, as you can see, moved price down here. It then changed the short-term trend from being up now to down. So now the short-term trend is to the downside. And so we missed the 2-step short, but remember, a 2-step is going to reverse the trend. So it, of course, showed us as we reversed now to the downside, which means now I can take a trend continuation pattern, which is a wave pattern. So at 11:05, we took this wave short. Entry here was at 30. Now at this point, right, we're looking at our momentum indicator to curl down. We were using our pace of the tape, our brand new pace of the tape indicator to make sure we had enough speed of the tape. And everything lined up, perfect looking trade. Got short here at 30, took 2 contracts off at +4, we took 1 off at +8, and we trailed our final target for a +4 ticks. Tally it all up, and there's 20 ticks on that 4 contract trade. All right, so once again, took 2 contracts off at +4 for our first target, total of 8 ticks. Another 8-tick target for our second target, took 1 contract off there, and then a final contract for our 4 contract account taken off at 4 ticks by trailing our stop. As you guys can see, it adds up to 20 ticks, and that's where we got our $200 in the market today. As you can see, though, if you guys are watching the markets this morning, lots of low volume in the market this morning. In fact, I want to say today was another one of those days where we saw one of the lowest volumes of the year here in the market in front of us. All right, guys, so this is what we took today. Just 1 trade today, very slow day, so make sure you come out and join us tomorrow at 2:45 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll trade 8 different markets. We'll give you live calls with entries, targets, and stops. We'll show you guys how to manage your trades. Plenty of opportunities for questions and answers, guys. So come with us. Come join us free for 3 weeks. No obligation. The beginner's course, obviously, is recommended for free trial members. And when you're there on our YouTube page, make sure you take a moment to rate and comment on those videos. For more information about lifetime membership, drop us an email at sales@schooloftrade.com. My name is Joseph James. Hope the video helps. We'll see you tomorrow morning in the trade room. Tomorrow's FOMC day. Get ready for some trades, 2:45 a.m. See you then.